Brilliance hidden is pointless. If you teach something or you have an expertise or experience doing something that can benefit somebody else, you need a YouTube channel. In this day and age, AI has provided so much opportunity for other people to be on the platform. And you might think, well, it's saturated. There would be no space for me. But that is exactly why it is important that you are on YouTube, because your message and your mission needs to be in front of the right person to help them. Because AI has flooded the platform with a lot of faceless content or regurgitated basic knowledge, you have real lived experience that AI or maybe brand new YouTubers do not have. Most brand new YouTubers that start on the platform would be envious of your expertise. I see so many education creators or people that are specifically on YouTube with a message and are not just there for business and monetization, which is fine too and important. But I see so many people taking advice from YouTubers that are helping them optimize for sales and leads, and it actually waters down their message. They end up chasing algorithms, chasing trends, and doing things that misaligns with their actual ideal person and their value, the value that that educator brings. I'm on a mission to help educators who have a mission first mindset when it comes to YouTube, because I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did. I bought YouTube programs, spent over $19,000 and 18 months trying to learn YouTube with someone else's formula for their business optimization model. That's even a word. They were trying to optimize my channel to make as much money as possible, but I didn't want to make as much money as possible. So there's always friction, and it slowed me down on YouTube because I didn't know how to package my videos and how to share my message in the way that would actually meet my ideal viewer, because I was trained in a master's program that was highly academic. And so I would write titles like academic papers. I would make thumbnails that just seemed like they made sense to me, but I didn't know how to package it and get it into the right person. And once I finally learned how to do that, my channel took off. Growth was super easy, not super easy, but it was easier. And I wish I'd had those tools and had focused on understanding how to get my message on YouTube faster, because your content's probably going to be good because you have those years of experience that YouTubers that are starting out on the platform that have this dream of being a YouTuber don't have yet, and they haven't built that muscle, but you have. That's where you need to lean into something that I like to call your unfair advantage. That's something that you have that other people don't have, and that's not to compete or to compare, but that is really to differentiate yourself from other people, because there are about 240 million users, I think, daily on YouTube. That means 240 million people are coming to the platform to be entertained, to be taught, be inspired, to get a need met. And now with AI, so many more people are flocking to AI, to ChatGPT, to Claude, to other programs, get answers to their problems. So YouTube has changed. You can't just be the how-to person. You can't just give general information. But if you have real lived wisdom, real experience, even if there's not a degree attached to it, but you have real lived experience, people are hungry and starving for that knowledge. And maybe you're a therapist, you have a practice, and you've been helping people individually, and that is really good, deep work. If you taught some of these theories or practices online, you could reach thousands more people than just those in your practice. It's a both and. And one of the things that you might miss if you have an unfair advantage, because you're focused on your practice and your giftings and what you can teach, you might not know how to do the back end stuff like monetize your channel or to set up. Not because it's about making a ton of money. Obviously, we want to be supportive with what we're doing, but your unfair advantage is your skill set and your message. And so you need someone to come alongside and discern, based on your unfair advantage, based on who you are and your positioning and the type of person you're wanting to reach, how do you set up monetization that makes sense for you, that isn't just a get rich quick scheme. So your unfair advantage is the things that makes you you, and then you can leverage that for what your type of client or viewer would actually want to be able to support, to fund your mission or fund your practice online. And the biggest reason why I think YouTube is super powerful is because TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, they base their algorithm on trends or what's really popping off right now. And so a video has a very short shelf life, meaning you might make a video and it might get traction for 24 hours, a week. It may not get anything. You spent all this time, energy editing it, thinking through a hook, all those things, and no one sees it. And maybe you just hopefully get lucky or you strike gold or something. But YouTube is powerful because it's a search engine. It's owned by Google. It actually will live on the channel evergreen. So your videos can be viewed for 10 years. I see sometimes videos pop up on my feed that have been around for 15 years. And so your content then becomes a library of education, of wisdom to serve people that your mission can live on even after you stop filming. And you don't have to be on a content hamster wheel to be able to grow a channel, to be able to get book sales, whatever your specific niche is. You get to find a group of people following, build a community that directly has access to your work, and that your work now has value. And that's something that I wasn't taught in YouTube courses. I wasn't taught how to really put the mission and the education first, and that means it took a lot longer for me to grow. So a small audience on YouTube is more important than a huge following on Twitter, and it's not about any of those vanity metrics. While some people do appreciate having that type of influence, it can really be misleading. When I first started out and I only had 48 subscribers, I know that sounds so simple, I was frustrated with my growth. I had a coach say something very important to me. She said, Meryl, imagine 48 people came over to your house and wanted to listen to more of what you said about a certain topic, which is what you were starting to do on YouTube. And it just really put that in perspective. Even 48 people in a room, 48 people is a lot. That they raised their hand, they subscribed and said, hey, I want to see more maybe. That is powerful. So no matter where you are in your growth journey, knowing that you are making an impact is so important with YouTube because this lives on. This is about building a legacy and a library of wisdom to share for generations. I had a formation channel, a spiritual formation. It's a niche within a Christian niche. And so I would try to borrow from other niches and it didn't work. And I would try a lot of things or try to solve problems with my channel, and my channel wasn't about that. And it took so long for me to figure out that I was playing someone else's game. I wasn't playing my own. And when you're starting out and you have your expertise, you don't know how to put it on YouTube, it can be really hard. And so that's why I work with creators that have a message and want to educate so that they can optimize and they can cut through all of the generic messaging on YouTube and actually get something set up for themselves. To create good content, it takes months, if not years, to be really good and become an expert at something. But to fix your packaging, to get your right title, thumbnail, your hooks, to be able to speak and to be able to put your message into a YouTube vehicle, that takes an afternoon, even just a couple hours, which is what I want to help creators do. So you don't have to spend years chasing trends or watching random videos. You get direct, specific strategy for your channel and your niche without having to learn years and years worth of YouTube, which I've already done for you. So one of my clients that I worked with, she had a channel of 1,000 subscribers. She was moving from Instagram over to YouTube, and she was overwhelmed and intimidated by YouTube because there is a lot to learn. And so with just understanding who she wanted to serve, moms specifically, we were able to find titles and thumbnails that specifically appealed to her audience. And within just a few months, and I know I'm talking about messaging and not necessarily monetization, but that is a benefit, is that she did have a product to sell and she was a business, but she was able to then make $7,000 2 or 3 months later. She was monetized on YouTube with AdSense within 6 weeks. And within her first 6 or 7 videos, she had 2 videos that were over 50,000 views, which is huge for a brand new creator. She wasn't new in the sense she already had 1,000 subscribers from when she was doing YouTube 7 to 8 years ago, but YouTube has changed so much. Even just last month, YouTube had a new update, and so it's really hard sometimes to keep track. So That's why I'm here for you. You don't need to just post more, try to go viral, try to chase trends. You need to find your messaging and your right viewer connection, and that's what I want to help you do. So if you want to know more about how I helped Rebecca get monetized in 6 weeks, you can check out that video next. Or if you want to have a diagnostic call where I help you with strategy, that is down below. See you in that video.